So I actually want to kick this off with a question from Derek Jackson82 on Twitter. I thought this question was really fantastic, mostly because I have not been able to come up with an answer to it, and I've been thinking about it for a couple of hours. He asked, what movie would we use as a way of describing the scope and tone of the film to the uninitiated? And I've been thinking about that for a while, and I've seen a lot of movies, but I can't think of a movie that I've ever seen that is quite like this movie. So I'm hoping that one of you guys might have something to compare it to.
I actually think it's all its own, like the tone of it, because that was my first thought when the movie ended, was like, this is so different than anything that I've seen, and I think that's like people, like the general public, are going to be like really surprisingly, shocked at what this movie is, because it's so different.
Yeah, it really is.
Yeah,
anyone else?
I can't really think of a good parallel.
There really isn't one, I don't think.
To this, the thing I'll say that I thought was wonderful and what makes it kind of separate and unique is that, and I don't think anyone who's a real fan is not going to be disappointed by this. This isn't spoiling anything, but I'm just giving you a general idea. They do not go for cheap thrills, and they do not trivialize the meaning of these games or any of that. You don't have these scenes where Katniss is just sort of standing around in the dark, and you have spine tingling, and oh my God, some tribute could come out and stab her or something like that. What they really focus on is just the horror of the actual experience, which is maybe not giving you hair-raising instants, but leaves you just completely breathless. And I've never seen, even Lord of the Rings, which is obviously an Oscar-winning picture, so I don't even want to compare these two. I think they're both great in their own ways. Lord of the Rings relied a lot on those real scary, frightening moments and sensationalism. There really isn't that much sensationalism in this movie, and that's why I think you won't find anything else like it. This is a truly, you leave the theater, I left like with my heart in my throat. I was just completely emotionally drained in a great way from this. I mean, it's so moving and deep, and so far the critics seem to be raving about it. I mean, didn't you all feel that this was really so much deeper maybe than you even had thought it was going to be? Or maybe
I've never been more emotional during a movie before. I don't cry very easily in movies, but I was trying so hard not to make noise that I just wanted to let out all my sobs, and it was intense.
And you all are going to see this movie way more than one time. I'm just throwing that out there. I know we can't wait to see it a second time. We were supposed to be joined by Aldrin, who you may have heard us mention, such a cool guy, the District 2 mayor. Well, guess what? He's not on the show tonight because lucky Aldrin, don't feel too bad for him. He's seeing the Hunger Games for the second time this week. So he'll have already seen it twice before all of you. Lucky. I wish I could see it again. You'll probably, I think on average, how many times, we know Theresa has read the books at least 7 times, I think, right? Something like that?
Maybe more.
Maybe more. So you're going to see this movie at least 4 or 5 times, I think.
I'm booked to see it at the midnight show. I'm seeing it at the midnight show, and then I'm going with my husband and my daughter, and then I'm going to IMAX. That'll be confirmed 4 times, and I'm sure there'll be more beyond that. So.
I'm telling you, it's the kind of, there's some movies that you want to see once. This isn't one of them. This is one of those where you want to go right back in there and watch it again. Once you recover, I think, because it's so emotionally affecting. But I know I'm seeing it at least 4 times in the theater, like you said. Is anybody here not planning to see it ever again after the premiere? This is your only time? I think I heard Flo saying she will never set eyes on this movie again. Is there any truth to that rumor?
Right, never again. Not at all.
That's a joke. Okay, Savanna, do you want to ask the next?
Yeah, we've got a ton of questions, and I'm hoping we can answer a lot of them. I know it's already 11:05.
Yeah, sorry, I'll speed up. And Derek Jackson, great question. such a great listener, and I'm so excited for you, Derek, to get to see this movie finally because you deserve this. Anyway, Savanna, go on.
Yeah, well, we already just kind of answered a question from B-Man923. He asked, first of all, he asked if we could explain how all the fan sites were able to go to the premiere and see the movie too. And we've said this a couple of times. We were invited by Lionsgate to attend, so we didn't camp out or anything. We were given tickets, although Flo and Natasha did camp out. And he also asked, are you more excited to see the movie again at midnight Thursday night or not as excited? I personally am more excited because I've seen it once and I know how amazing it is. And I think that we all feel the same way, but as soon as the film ended on Monday night, my first thought was, I have to see this again immediately. Because it went by so quickly. So I think I'm more excited. What about you guys?
Same V.
Definitely more excited.
Yeah, the exact same thing. I thought it ended that I had to see it again. I asked the staff at the Nokia, and like they were, because they were directing us, to do, and they were saying something about the different people that were working there, and they're like, well, are you excited? Are you going to see it again? And I'm like, if you start playing it right now, I'll go right back in and watch it. I'm like, just, we'll watch it immediately. I mean, go ahead, let's play it again. So it's, I mean, I've heard of people who have gone to movies, and I mean, I've, immediately walked out and then, got in line for the next screening. And if I had the money to do that, I probably would do that for this film.
Yeah. Oh my God, it was so special. And honestly, I guess we'll get to the next questions. But the instant the movie started is like, I was in disbelief that, oh my God, the movie is here. It's like, really, this is the film. This isn't some clip that we pulled off of Entertainment Weekly or something like that. This is the real thing. No more clips. Can you guys even watch these clips and the B-rolls and stuff? Anyway, I feel like I can't do it anymore after seeing the whole movie.
I've been watching them. I'm kind of like ravenous for them now because I can't. I can't wait to see the movie again on Thursday. So I'm like taking anything that I can get at this point.
I totally agree. I do the same exact thing. I last night I was on the Capital TV YouTube, and just watching everything because I missed it.
Yeah, same here. Okay, so another question. This is from HG Peacekeeper. The movie is basically two parts. Which was your favorite, before the games or the action in the games? My answer, I'm going to be really lame, and I'm going to say I can't choose. I'm going to say both were my favorite. What about you, Adam?
We're doing a really bad job of answering these questions definitively, aren't we? Because it's so hard.
I can't, honestly, I swear to God, when you listeners out there, I cannot choose before the games or the action in the games. Both segments of the film were my favorite. And that is sincere. That is sincere.
It's like someone pulling out your child and saying, which part do you like more? The top half of his body or the bottom half of his body? It's like you can't really, it's like still your child. It's like you can't break it up.
Well, I mean, I wouldn't say that one was more my favorite than the other, but I know that when they, Katniss is going up in the tube, which you've seen in the trailer clips and stuff. I mean, when you get to that spot where that there has been no clips from, and you are it's I mean, we hadn't seen anything, so it was completely fresh and new and maybe a tad bit, I don't know, more exciting in the moment because you didn't know what was coming. You didn't know how they were going to handle it. And we had no teasers from that point on, so it was I guess the safety net was gone, and we were, it was to see how they were going to portray, the games. It was, I don't know, I think at that point, I don't know, I know I had grabbed Ariel's hand again, and I think we were both kind of shaking going into that moment, knowing, it was like, this is new.